Hi guys and welcome back to another episode of Battle of Reykjavik, and we are at the start of our second season in charge and a lot has gone on since the last episode. So first of all, I'll take you through the transfers in and out that we've done. So we have lost two of our best strikers. Vladimir Tufik didn't want to renew his contract with us, so he was released, and Rolf Toft FH came in with an amazing offer, which is £35,000 up front, but could eventually rise to 51,000, and I was never going to reject that. So Toft has gone as well. There's a few loans out there, a few free transfers, just because we've had a massive squad. We just needed to trim the fat really. Also, Agnos Ferrison has gone again. £28,000. I think I managed to get that up a little bit. I can't remember, but it's £28,000 up front, which is not to be complained about. And also, the youngster that made a great impression last season, centre midfield, when he's 17 years old, sold to Charleroi on a Scarp Henderson for £21,000. So our players obviously performed well last season, otherwise people wouldn't have wanted to buy them. And we've managed to sell more than we've bought, which is good. We have spent some of the money that's come in from those transfers, however, and I'll go through the transfers that we've brought in. So the first person we signed was Tonci Radovnikovic from Fylkir for £3,000. He's a centre-back. He looks pretty solid in terms of star rating. 10 for tackling, 9 for marking. That's improving though. Isn't that bad? So he's a Croatian, and who's he played for? He hasn't played for anyone big, really. But he should be a good player for us. His scout report made him look good. So then we signed a fullback, John Ragnar Johnson. We signed him from FH for £7,000. And this guy looks quite good as well. 3.5 star rating. He's quite pacey too, which is something I like at the right back position. And then we signed Hilmar Raffen Emilsson from IH. He's a striker. It was supposed to be our backup to Toft, but obviously Toft went. So he's been performing okay in pre-season. I think he's grabbed himself he's grabbed himself 5 goals in 10 matches. We have played lots of friendlies just to try and get the fitness up and try and get some more money in. So he scored 5 goals in 10 appearances in friendlies, which is nothing to complain about really. It's quite a good amount, good finish in 12. And then Georgi Stefanov, it's a free transfer that we brought in. He's played 3 times and he hasn't managed to get a goal yet. He has been playing at attacking centre midfield though, so he's a bit of a journeyman. He's been to quite a few different places, mainly in Bulgaria, but he was at Hotur in Iceland, and that's where he got released from before we snapped him up. Next up is Sindri Snaya Magnuson, who has some good potential. He's got a good current rating as well, 3 stars. He's played 10 times, so he played 10 friendlies. He's got average rating of 6.69. He looks like he could be quite a good player for us. Next signing was Sebastian Ebiega, and we got him for free. So he was released from Fram. So he's been around. He's American. So he started off at Dynamo Academy in America and then moved to Denmark. Now he's in Iceland with us. Didn't need to do that. I meant to go onto his profile. So he's a centre back. Good tackling 11, marking's okay for 10, heading 12. He's good strength and he's quite a big fella as well. Just handy in that position. Next signing we made was for £22,000. It's Elfar Arni Adelsteinsson, who I believe is injured. Yes, he's injured. He's out for 5 or 6 weeks with a hernia at the moment. But I signed him for our attacking midfield left. Signed him to replace Sverrisson, really. Coach report says quality player, 3.5 stars. so it should be quite good for us. Same with Johannes Carl Gudjonsson. He's a good player, 3 stars. He's meant to be our backup for centre midfield. But if you look at his stats, some of them stats are pretty damn good for the level that we're at. He's a bit of a journeyman, old Johans. He's been around a bit. So he started off in Iceland, and he's eventually come back around to Iceland, but he's been in Belgium, Holland, Spain, even England. He's been at Villa, Wolves. He played for Villa, yeah. Wolves, Leicester, Burnley, Huddersfield, as well as clubs like AZ Alkmaar and Real Betis. So he has been around a lot. He is 35 years old, but he is just our backup centre midfielder. And the final signing that I've made is Björgvin Steffensen. He is to play up front. Again, this is a replacement for Toft. So he's only played in Iceland, and he's got 17 goals and 79 appearances. Not that bad. But his some of his stats are quite good as well. So hopefully those signings can do the business for us. Just a few notes from the end of last season. So the fans player of the season award went to Toft. Signing of the season was Bjarnason, and young player of the season was also Toft. And our wage budget was increased from £4.1 thousand to £9,000, and our transfer budget increased from £3,000 to £38.83 thousand. That is because we made a profit of £250,000 last season. So that's how we've managed to have so much money to spend on transfers, as well as the money that's come in from other players. I think I've still got like £5,000 per week to spend that I could spend on wages, and I could adjust that and make it so we had like £100,000 to spend on transfers, but I don't see the point because I don't really want to buy anyone else in. And we have signed like 9 players, something ridiculous like that. The previous chairman, but we'll get to that in a second, he actually hired a director of football. He signed the director of football, Per Rudd, from Vikingur Reykjavik for £16,000. There's also been a few approaches from my chief scout and my scouts from teams like KR, I think Breidablik did as well, but my scouts were loyal and decided to stay with us. We've got a new chairman, because I didn't realise this, but Vikingur Reykjavik hold elections, I think it's annually, to decide who the chairman's going to be, and the chairman at the time didn't want to remain in that position, so there was an election and a new chairman was hired. You got rid of a managing director and hired two new directors. Nothing that interesting with that, and obviously I managed to stay in the job. Also got offered a new contract. I got offered a 2-year contract on top of the 1-year contract that I previously signed. So I signed a contract near the end of last season that would take me through to October of 2016, but I've basically got an extension through to October 2017 now. So let's look at the matches that we played. Obviously I said we played quite a few friendlies, as you can see there. We've played 12 friendlies in all. So I'm not going to click on each of them individually, but you can see we've got a 1-0 victory against KV, because I don't really feel that friendlies are that important. I was just trying to get fitness up using the friendlies, so the results aren't really vital, but we managed to win against KV. We lost against that team, Breidablik and Fjolnir, drew 1-1 with Fram. I think we were 1-0 up in the game against IBV, but we lost that one 2-1. Drew with Vikingur Jupiters, beat Fylkir, beat Keflavik, got beaten off FC Copenhagen, beat Valur, and just narrowly got beaten by FH. So in terms of the teams that we've played that are from our league, we've had 2 defeats there, that's a third. So 4 defeats, 1 draw, and 3 victories. It's not bad, and obviously this next competition that's coming up, I kind of treat that as pre-season also, the Upper League Cup group, the Upper League Cup. It's not really anything, my board don't really care about it, so I don't really care about it, but that will be the first game that I'm going to show you in the second season. It will be the game against Fjordbaigo, who have just been promoted to the Icelandic Premier Division from the First Division this season. So they will be the first team that we will play against in our second season with our new signings. So here we are for the game against Fjordabygud. I think that's how you... Fjordabygud, sorry. Misread that one. And we are the favourites for this game, obviously because they are a newly promoted team. So let's see how we go. I am playing a different formation to that I did last season. I'm just trying out some new things in this competition. So we've still got Aarons in goal. We've got Snorrison at left back still. Bjarnason at centre back. We've got our newcomers Radavnikovic and Johnson in defence. We've got a three-man midfield consisting of Atlason and Arneson, who were here last season, and then the 35-year-old journeyman that's been around the block, Good Johnson. And then we've got Valdemir Johnson, who I think is from our youth system. Yeah, he's from our youth system. He performed really well in training, so I've given him a start today. We've got him there. We've got Stefan Paul-Palsen from last season, and then we've got Emilson, one of the other new signings, on the bench. Kodakli is still there from last season. We've got Asgeisen as well, Stein Grimson. I can't remember if Johnson was there last season. Yes, he was. He was out on loan last season. So we've got Johnson as well. And then newcomers, we've got Abierga, Stefanov, and Stephenson. Stephenson might not be a newcomer, actually. Yes, he is. My bad. Of course he is. I was just talking about him. So it's Gudmundsson. Atlason heads it away. It's Johnson now. It's Valdemir Johnson. It's Palsen. Back to Johnson. Arneson. Looking for Emilson. Emilson's through. Oh, what was that? He decided to head it. I don't know why he did that. It's Eysteinsen and he's played it through to Vignesson. Snorrison comes across to tackle well. Clears it to... only to Rosenthal. It's Eysteinsen. Anderson. Back to Eysteinsen, who crosses it back post. Oh, they've scored. Gudmundsson. Victor Owen Gudmundsson scoring against his former club, Vikingur Reykjavik. So it's half time and we're losing 1-0. Atlason is knackered, so we're going to bring him off. Okay, so we made a couple of changes. We brought Atlason off and brought Stein Grimson on in his place, moved him out to attacking left mid. And we brought Valdemar Johnson off and brought Bjorgvin Stephenson on for attacking centre mid. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so a third substitution and we're taking Palsen off and bringing Victor Johnson on. Palsen is a bit tired. So we've brought Asgeisen on for John Johnson. And Asgeisen's going into defensive midfield. We've brought Stefanov on for Johan's Good Johnson, and he's moved up to attacking midfield centre. We're in charge of this game, and we just need to have more shots on goal, make more chances. So I'm just going very attacking, basically. Obviously, I've said we're not really bothered about winning this competition, but we obviously want to score goals, make some improvements ready for the season starting. So it's Aarons with a goal kick. It's Rodriguez and Smarrison, Eysteinsen, Prestason, Solferson, good tackle by Snorrison, and Arneson clears it. That's only to their defence. We haven't actually had a chance in this game yet. Slightly worrying. It's 7 shots and none of them have been on target. Good tackle by Snorrison. It's Asgeisen, Stefansson. Can we make a chance now? No, because Zabo was there. And Stephenson with a terrible touch. And that's a long ball. Smarrison over the bar. It's Stefansson. Arneson. Great pass to Snorrison. Can he cross it? Stefanov's at the edge of the box. He shoots and it's in. 1-1. Georgi Stefanov on his debut with his first goal for Vikingur Reykjavik. Vital goal too. Our first shot on target from 8 shots. That is just a terrible shot accuracy. There's Emilson. And that's full time. 1-1. Like I said, I'm not really bothered about the results. I just want a team to get used to playing with each other and get some fitness up. So in the next episode, we will either do I think it'll be the quarterfinal. It'll be a knockout round from the Upper League Cup if we get that far in the competition, or the first league game of the season. So that is it for this episode. Thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll see you next time.